In this episode, we'll start by looking at some key differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Then look at types of organisms which fall into these two categories, examine typical cell structures of animal and plant cells, and finally look at bacterial cell structure. So, prokaryotic cells are smaller than eukaryotic cells, with an average size of around 1 micron depending on the bacterial strain. Animal eukaryotic cells are larger at around 25 microns on average, and plant eukaryotic cells can be even larger at approximately 50 microns. These are averages and will depend on the specific organism and cell type. Another key difference is that the vast majority of eukaryotes are multicellular. A multicellular organism is an organism in which many cells are working together to make up the organism, whereas prokaryotes, such as bacteria, are classed as microorganisms. A single cell is the entire organism. Now let's go over which types of organisms fit into these two cell types. Prokaryotes include bacteria and archaea. Archaea are a more primitive type of bacteria found in extreme environments such as thermal vents, glaciers, and salt lakes, whereas eukaryotic cells make up animals, plants, protists such as parasites, and fungi such as mushrooms. Next, let's talk about their subcellular structures and their functions, starting with animal cells. Key subcellular components found within a typical animal cell include a nucleus, ribosomes, cell membrane, cytoplasm, and mitochondria. Let's dive in and learn more about the functions of each of these. The nucleus controls what the cell does. It contains the DNA, which gives instructions for which things to make, and therefore which characteristics to express. Next, we have the ribosomes. These are very small spherical organelles, which can be found free or bound to other structures inside the cytoplasm. It's the site at which proteins are made after taking instructions from DNA via the mRNA. And then we have the cell membrane. This is a barrier which controls what enters and leaves the cell. It readily allows vital small molecules, such as water, glucose, amino acids, and gases, such as oxygen and carbon dioxide, to pass through via diffusion. The cytoplasm is the substance within a cell in which all the subcellular structures reside, and it is also where all the cellular reactions take place. So, what's powering all of the reactions inside of a cell? It's the mitochondria, also popularly known as the powerhouse of the cell. This generates energy for all the reactions going on inside the cell. But not all eukaryotic organisms have the same cell structure. In addition to all the cellular components found in animal cells, plant cells also have a cell wall, a vacuole, and chloroplasts. The cell wall is a layer surrounding the cell membrane and provides support and structural integrity to plant cells. The vacuole is a cell sap cavity within the plant cell used for storage of water and nutrients such as minerals and sugars. Whereas animal cells get glucose from eating, plants generate their own glucose through a process called photosynthesis. Now let's move on to bacteria, a prokaryotic organism which shares many of the components found in eukaryotic cells, such as a cell wall, a cell membrane, cytoplasm, DNA unbound by a nucleus, and ribosomes. However, it has additional features such as plasmids and a flagellum. As mentioned earlier, bacteria are unicellular microorganisms. Therefore, they evolved with a cell wall that acts almost like a shield to protect them from their environment. Additionally, bacteria have small circular pieces of DNA called plasmids. These provide a convenient, easy way to transfer useful genetic traits between different bacteria. Finally, bacterial cells also have a subcellular structure called the flagellum. This looks almost like a tail and gives them the ability to swim and navigate through their surroundings.